everybody. Welcome to another episode of Who Invited Her, San Diego's LGBTQ pop culture podcast. I am your host, Tony, and today's show is going to be a little different, not our normal format. It's just me. And we decided to do something a little different this week in response to the Black Lives Matter movement that is happening all over the country. And instead of you listening to our nonsense for an hour, and our opinions, which really don't matter. We thought it'd be really important this week to put all the focus on Black Lives Matter, the movement, how to get involved, how to stay focused with it. So for today, I'm going to give you some information on how you can get involved if you can't go out and protest, some organizations you can donate to, and some more information with that. But I am going to be joined today, right now, from a very special guest, a local queen here in San Diego that we've talked about before on the podcast, and we finally have her on. Strawberry Corn Cakes is going to be hosting the show with me, hanging out with me today. How are you, Strawberry?
I'm good. How are you?
Good for a Saturday with all the craziness that's been going on.
Right.
How are you doing with everything?
I am doing good,
Yeah.
surprisingly. Um, one thing that I've been kind of telling people that have been messaging me to check up on me and everything like
Hmm.
that, I've been telling them like, this is not new for me.
Yeah.
This is not new for Black people. And I can speak for myself.
Yeah.
I've been in situations with police officers.
Hmm.
So this is like not new for me.
Yeah.
Sadly, it is sad that I already have like a coping mechanism, but so I'm
Yeah.
good. Just
Yeah, and that's been kind of the same feedback I've gotten from my other black friends. They've all kind of in that same. Well, it's almost with any minority group, they kind of have a little bit of that. Not as much as the black community, but it's still kind of there of like,
yeah,
here we
yeah,
are again. And me being older, I'm like, I thought we did this in '92 with the Rodney King riots, and I'm like, here we are
yeah.
again, 28 years later, and it's so freaking frustrating and annoying.
I
um,
bet.
yeah, and I think it's important what's happening right now in the country, and it needs to
Mhm.
happen. And I think
Yeah,
from my experience and being a little older, it's nice. It's a different vibe this time. Because
yeah.
when I remember in '92, when the riots happened, we didn't have social media like we do now. And I think
Hmm.
social media helps a lot getting the word out there and all
Yeah.
of that good stuff. But how long have you been in San Diego? And because in San Diego, people that live in San Diego know you because you're a queen around town, one of the queens that works a lot in the clubs, and we see you all the time
I
out. And
I
you've
do what I do.
yeah, and you were doing the tea party with Miriam a couple times and in
Yeah.
that. So how did you get started in drag? And where okay, let's start with where are you from originally? San Diego?
Yes. Born and raised in Logan Heights.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I grew up in National City. We grew up down in Chula.
Oh, we're neighbors.
Yeah, exactly. We grew up down
We
there
are
and then a little bit East County, which was like a nightmare. East County dealing with
That's
all the
scary.
sanity. Yeah. Mhm.
Mhm.
When did
I got
you
ran out of East County one time.
you did?
When I was 15, there was like a bunch of like Nazi punks, and I was like a
Yeah.
little punk growing up in my teen years, and
Yeah.
they were like, "We don't like Jews, we don't like niggers," blah, 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 blah.
Mhm.
They like ran me
We
like I ran all my friends who were like
yeah.
Mexican and white, like tried to like back them away from me.
Wow. I'm not surprised it's the East County. I
Yeah,
remember
if
in
you,
high school with my little brother, we had gone to Parkway Plaza, and this was
hey,
like
I was here at Parkway
right, Parkway
Plaza.
Plaza.
Yeah,
And we were I had to be like I think I was in like a sophomore in high school, and I was with my little brother who was I think in 6th grade, and we were walking into the mall, and there were two these white supremacist teenage kids that were older than me that were yelling
yeah,
at a black kid, and then they started yelling at us like spick and stuff like that, and it was like the
yeah.
first time I've ever heard it. And I think at the time I didn't realize what was really happening and what it
Yeah.
meant until I was a
Hmm.
lot older, and I was like, Jesus freaking Christ, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
But
It's like it's crazy to think like that. This is like you
yeah.
know racism has existed for so long, and it's like growing up we didn't think that it was gonna happen to us or be like this, and it's like until that experience happens to you, it's like bam, like here you are, here we are.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So how did you get into drag? Like how was that introduced to you and how did you get into it?
Um, I was introduced to drag from RuPaul's Drag Race, but I never wanted to do drag, at all. But I was a dancer in middle school and high school,
Oh
and then I
wow.
used to teach dance at my high school for like 4 years after. So I've always been like that, like charismatic, person.
Yeah.
And so one of my good friends, Kina, she's a plus size burlesque dancer. She performed at City Royals, which is a drag show at the Rail. And me and my friend Ashley went to go see her at that show. And during mission, they pulled like two random on stage.
Yeah.
And I was one of those random people. So it's like lip sync to some random song with some girl. And it turned out to be like one of my favorite songs. Um, and I like got all my life, like, because from that time, like, I hadn't like danced in like maybe 3 or 4 years. So I just got my life. I was like, oh my god, I want to be on the stage again. Like, I miss it.
You got
And
bitten by the
then
bug.
I did. And so the next day, I messaged the show producer. I'm like, hey, like, can I like do drag and like be in your show? And she was like, who are you? And what do you look like? And I'm like, I've never touched makeup. I never touched a wig, nothing. So I called up my friend at the time, Adonis Illusion. And I'm like, oh,
Oh,
he does
Dennis.
drag. Like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
ask him. So he put me up, and I do photography. So I did a little self portrait, little sending my photos. She's like, okay, you could be in our next show. So that December 2015, I had like my debut show with City Royals, and the rest was history. I literally hit the ground running. I was doing
Yeah.
like 2 shows a month, like a lot of Imperial Court shows, a lot of charity shows, benefit shows. So for those queens talking about paying, I paid my dues like crazy.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I did drag for like 2 years, like 2.5 years until it started actually like becoming a career, and I started like making money from it.
Yeah.
And forward, I'm at my like 4.5 year mark now, and drag basically is like my main income.
Yeah.
Now it's not like no crazy income, but it pays my
It
bills.
pays the bills.
Yeah.
How would you, for people who may not live in San Diego, know your or familiar with your drag, how would you describe your style of drag and what you do?
So I describe my drag as, I say that I'm the plus size black Barbie fashionista.
Cheryl.
That's what I categorize it as. When I first started, it was a little bit different. I wanted to be your I called it your Harajuku Banji Barbie.
Mhm.
So I was always wearing like hot pink and like lime green and with my little braids and trying to be. But then I started to polish up a little bit and
Yeah.
um, clean up. But I mean, I like to do high energy numbers. I like to do some comedy numbers. What people most like me for are my ballads.
Mhm.
I've been known to make a few people cry a little bit when I emote. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh wow, yeah, that's pretty much sums up your drag perfectly from what I'm used to seeing you do. And I've known you for a while, and I've even noticed like your journey through drag and like
yeah,
over how just it's changed and polished now and like all
yeah,
of that. And how is it now going now that we're dealing with coronavirus and having to be stuck at home, transitioning
yeah.
from being at the bars every night and performing and having that live audience to now going virtual. How has that been for
Yeah.
you as a drag queen?
Well, for me, I like to connect with people.
Mhm.
I like to look everybody in the eye. Like, I'm literally like, to everyone. So to not have that, it's like, ugh. But the time that I have done, I've done a couple of I've done, I think, three virtual drag shows from my house,
Yeah.
called the Rent is Due drag review, because the rent is due. And you know so and a couple of times it was kind of like therapeutic,
Yeah.
just like performing to the camera. I know that people were watching on the other end, but at the same time, it was just like me getting out whatever my emotion or, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm low key like, I need a bar, I need a club, I
Mhm.
need that interaction.
Yeah.
And so I kind of paused on, doing the live stream shows. Um, but I'm ready to get back to it, especially right now with this, you know,
Yeah.
that we're going to be producing.
Yeah, and, speaking of that, you are involved with the drag show that's coming up June 26th,
Yeah,
Black Drag Magic, which,
yeah,
tell our audience about that because it's for a good cause and it's for everything that's happening right
yeah.
now in America and stuff.
So, me, myself, and a queen named Amber St. James, we produced the Black Girl Magic show a couple of months ago
Mhm.
with the help from Rob, Scott, and Kixie. They kind of helped us facilitate, gave us the space so that we could do so. And this is kind of like the same thing. Kixie reached out to myself, Amber St. James, and Vivi the Force, and was like, "Hey, you guys, I have this, etc. Would you guys like to?" And we said yes. And she was like, "Okay, well, do what you guys gotta do, want to do, whoever you guys want to be in it, whoever you guys want to donate to. Like, I just want to kind of, help you guys with the space and the, because her and her husband are very
Yeah.
knowledgeable on, these virtual
Yeah.
shows and all that stuff that I don't, all I know is,
Yeah, it's
all
a
I know
pain
is,
in the butt, trust me.
yeah, yeah, so she offered to, like help us with that. So myself, Amber St. James, and Vivi the Force came up with some performers, and we will be. It is an all black cast.
Yeah.
There's drag queens. There's a couple like singers. There's a couple of male performers.
Oh, wow.
Just trying to celebrate Black excellence. Um, and we will be donating. We just kind of decided last night we'll be donating to the San Diego LGBT Black Coalition.
Nice.
They were a big help with us to produce the Black Girl Magic show a couple months ago,
Mhm.
and they also create safe places for Black LGBT youth and adults. And they've been out every protest,
Yeah.
peacefully, spreading the gospel, as I say.
Yeah.
Um, and it's just a great organization that kind of like lifts up the Black people in the LGBT community.
Mhm.
Um, because as a Black person, when I first started to come into the community, like I didn't see me, and it's like there were a couple of Black queens and stuff like that, but it's like even with like a lot of these like a lot of these LGBT publications, when you look through like SD Pics magazine or whatever magazine, there's very few, you know, people of color.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, that could just be because they're not out, because
Mhm.
they don't feel. A lot of us didn't feel and don't feel um, included and welcome. I
Mhm.
know that for some people that's kind of like harsh to hear, but it's true.
Yeah.
Because like when I'm like out in Hillcrest, before people really knew Strawberry, not saying that I'm like everyone knows me, whatever, but as out of drag, I'm walking up and down University, and it's like not that I get dirty looks, but it's like whatever. And I'm one of the type of people. My parents taught me to always smile at someone,
Mhm.
no matter what race, gender, blah blah blah. Smile at them when you walk by them. If you guys make eye contact, smile. So that's what I always do. And sometimes when I do, I get like dirty looks.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, when I am in drag walking up University, because sometimes I'd be clocking out of Starbucks and then I gotta run to the gate, like break in there in 2 seconds. So I'll be in drag and they're like, "Yes, queen, yes, girl, blah, 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 blah." And it's like, do I have to like become a character to
Mm.
get respect within the community? So with the San Diego LGBT Black Coalition, they just kind of create that safe and happy place for the LGBT Black youth and adults.
Yeah. That's
That's
amazing.
what
It's a good
we're
ex
donating to.
Yeah. It sounds like even with the cast that you have with Viva and, Amber, that's gonna be a good cast, and do you have other queens already lined up, or are you
So
still finishing
we're,
up the
we're,
cast?
we're still working on the cast right now, but so far we have myself, Vivi the Force, Amber St. James, Adonis Illusion, Landa Plenty, who is
Oh,
a
Landa
San Diego.
Plenty used to live across the street
Yeah,
from us. Oh, yeah.
yeah. So Landa Plenty. We're gonna have Kyle, who is one of the servers over at Fiesta Cantina. He's like a
Yeah.
Broadway, person. He's gonna be
Oh,
singing.
nice.
Sean Von Carter, who is I believe he still is the reigning Southern Mr. Continental, California Continental. And then we just got Gigi Masters
Oh,
on today,
cool.
who, Gigi Masters is someone that I look up to within the community. She's like
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, if you haven't
um,
seen her perform live, God, she
yeah,
kills it. Oh my god, she's
yeah,
so good.
she's
Yeah.
like everything. She's been a judge at like every single cornball that I've had.
Yeah.
So that's another event that I
I
do.
know.
To uplift people's spirits. We have Aviana, and then we have Iman, who is one of the queens out of San Diego State.
Yeah.
So we
How
have
is it?
a cute cast now.
Yeah, that sounds like an amazing cast, and I'm sure it's gonna be a freaking amazing show. How is it putting the numbers together now, like for you personally, doing it over viral instead of just going out and lip singing? Because now you have to think about what's gonna be
Yeah,
behind you and all that
yeah.
stuff.
And see, at first, when everything first started, I want to say, from what I know, it was like Bitch Pudding was one of the first people who started like a
Yeah,
Twitch live streaming, and then No Tea No Shade. I think I was like, for San Diego, I was like next, and then
yeah.
Dreamgirls did their thing, um, and then like Whips and Furs did their thing.
I
But
love Whips and Furs when they
once
used to do it
Whips
at
and
Moe's.
Furs
Oh,
started there, I
yeah,
was just like, oh, we have to like step our pussies up, because
yeah,
with Whips and Furs is like everyone on that cast is like so creative. And for me and like my Twitch show, I would just put up a backdrop and just do some live stuff.
yeah.
And so I'm like, yeah, I'm like, I need to get up on my stuff. Now, I do photography and I've always wanted to do videography, and I feel like I'm being forced to learn right now.
That's what happened
Um,
when we started doing this stuff. Me and producer Rob were like, "Oh no, now we have to learn video." We just
yeah,
mastered doing audio for the podcast, and now we have to learn a whole new medium. But
yeah.
you got to do what you got to do with everything that's
So
changing.
Miriam had me booked for her tea party
Hmm.
that sadly did not
Yeah,
come to fruition. But it was a food theme,
yeah.
and I'm a big bitch that likes to eat. I cook on here.
And also too, you actually make meals and put them out in the
I
community for people to
do.
buy and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah,
Mexican Eric, who's one of the hosts on our show, he has gotten your food, I think, twice now.
yeah.
And he raves about it. And then I was trying to get it on Friday when you had mole, and you were sold out by the time I went to go get it. So apparently it's amazing.
I do what I do. No, I mean, I do like to cook.
Yeah.
And like I did need like some type of income, and all of this kind of started once I got my stimulus check, low
Yeah.
key. I was like, how can I profit off of this? So I'm a hustler. I've been a hustler all my life. I started working when I was 16 at Chuck E. Cheese, and
Yeah.
I've never I never not stopped working. I always found like some type of little thing, whatever. So this is just my little thing to do. It's called Quarantine Kitchen, like the quarantine. Anyways, um, so yeah, so that's another thing.
Yeah.
Um, but and it's funny because my roommates make fun of me because I'm a black person that cooks a lot of Mexican food.
Yeah. And it looks good, Mexican food too.
Like, I mean, I grew up in Logan Heights. I
There you
went
go.
to Lincoln Elementary. I went to Martin Luther King Chavez Elementary. I went to San Diego High. I went to Memorial. So it's like Barrio Logan, Logan Heights, Sherman Heights is like, my thing. And then
Yeah.
I used to work at Poki's Mexican restaurant for 4 years.
Oh
So it's
wow.
it's just like it's my it is what it
It's your
is.
stomping
My
grounds. It's where you grew
yeah,
up. Wow. How
my
did
parents are
I've
in
always
the city.
wanted to ask you this. How did you come up with strawberry corn cakes for your name? For your
So
drag
I
name?
didn't.
How did that
Um
come about?
so I used to go by my drag name was gonna be La Mariposa 619. Because
I love that.
I have a butterfly tattoo here,
Yeah.
and then I have another butterfly tattoo on my leg, and I love Mariah Carey. So
There
La
you go.
Mariposa, and then just add in the 619 because
San
San
Diego.
Diego, that's where my county is. Um, so it was that. But when I used to work at Pokies, um, my coworkers would like make my not make fun of my name, but like make uh like little things off my name. So like for instance, my Instagram name was changed to Corn Tortillas because they used to call me Corn Tortillas, and then
Yeah.
so I dyed my hair pink, and my coworker was calling me strawberry shortcake, and then one of the cooks in the back was like, no, that's strawberry corn cakes.
And you're
So
like,
I
boom,
changed my
done.
yeah, right. Well, but at this time I didn't even start drag. Drag
Oh.
was not even in my site. But I changed my Instagram name to Strawberry Corn Cakes as
Oh.
of play on everything corn, because
Yeah.
people call me corn nuts, corn dog, corn, like everything, throughout
Or
my
just
life.
corn.
Yeah, just
I've
corn,
heard that.
right?
Yeah.
And then when I started drag, I went to Instagram and Facebook, and I was like La Mariposa or Strawberry Corn Cakes, and then La Mariposa actually got 2 more votes than Strawberry Corn Cakes, but I was like, I do not want to be explaining to people that don't speak Spanish what La Mariposa is.
Yeah.
Like, that's gonna be too
They're
much.
gonna be like,
And
huh? What?
cakes, yeah, Strawberry Corn Cakes is like very catching, so I just stuck with that.
I like it. It's a unique drag name for sure, and it stands out. I love
And
it.
people, oh my god, people used to fuck it up so much, and the
Yeah.
one time Chad Michaels called me Strawberry Cornflakes, and I was like, do I correct Chad Michaels or do I
I
just
know.
let her call
Do it. Just
her?
let her do it.
And I was like, well, I'm like, no, I was like, it's corn cakes. She was like, oh, sorry,
Oh,
corn
that's
cakes. And
funny.
like for the first 2 years, they were always like
Yeah.
cornflakes. I'm like, no, bitch, I don't
Yeah.
flake. Why?
Oh gosh. But yeah, there was did you see the protest that just happened here in San Diego? I want to say it was last night or the night before where there were just
Like
thousands.
6,000? Yeah,
It was insane. It was
that
amazing
was
to see all those
beautiful.
people. Huh?
Yeah. I said that was beautiful.
Yeah, I was going to ask you how does that feel watching all these people come out and support and be really
It
behind the
feels
movement right
good.
now?
Yeah, it feels good. It's needed and it's important. I personally have not gone to any protests. My I'm kind of really still paranoid with COVID and
Yeah.
Corona. Like it's very much a thing. I actually had 2 people that I know pass away from it.
Oh no.
Another one is still in rehabilitation, and another one has survived it. Um, but which I'm very happy about that. So it is still scary for me. We have not had anyone over at our house for I normally have little dinner parties and stuff like that, little movie nights,
Yeah.
but I cut that out. And even with me, it took me so long to try to find a job during this
Mhm.
pandemic because I've been scared. So to be out at the protest with thousands and thousands of people is
Yeah.
scary to me.
Yeah.
Um, so that's why I'm just kind of staying away. But I've been doing a lot of my protesting online,
Mhm.
which a lot of people should be. But I feel like I can't speak for anyone else.
Yeah.
The only people that I've have policed with their support were the bars and clubs that I perform at.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they should be showing support because uh,
They have a
You
lot of
know,
performers within the
yeah,
Black community there.
and,
Yeah.
if these are the places that I call home,
Mm-hmm.
then they need to be supporting. But I mean, for everyone that are out protesting, like literally right now, this minute, while we're doing this, people are protesting.
Yeah.
I just say thank you, because as Black people, we've been fighting this fight. Like we've been fighting this fight for so long.
Mm-hmm.
So to see the support from so many people, ethnicities, races, whatever walks of life, it does feel nice that we like have support. Not finally have support because we've been having the support, but it's like it's never been like this. And even
Yeah.
like with my parents, they're from Kansas City, Missouri. They moved out of Kansas City, Missouri because of the racism.
Yeah.
So for them to be like, seeing it like this, seeing the support to this level, it does make them feel some type of way. Like they feel very like happy and, finally, it's like
Yeah.
finally the world is kind of like turning, you know, on
Something's
its
happening.
but at the same time, and I don't want to be like Miss Negative Nancy, but I just need people to understand that though we have so much support and people are speaking their voices and standing up for us and checking in on us and everything like that, it's as Black people we're still going to be hated by the racists,
Mm-hmm.
you know if not even much more now with all the people who are looting and rioting, Black, white, Mexican, whoever the looters are, they are kind of like kind of making it worse for us because once this is all over, let's say in a month from now there's no more protests, that
Mm-hmm.
all the police, that need to be charged are charged, and et cetera, et cetera. Let's say once all these things kind of go back to normal, we're still going to be hated
Yeah.
because of the color of our skin.
Yeah.
So this fight is not gonna stop after the protests. No tea, no shade, but the white people that are help showing their voices and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, they're gonna go back to their everyday life,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're still gonna have to keep fighting this fight
Yeah.
every day. Walking outside of my house with makeup and a wig on is me protesting,
Yeah.
and like, I still live in Logan Heights, like when I go outside to get my Uber to go to a show, I have these little like cholos out here that are like laughing at me while I get in this Uber. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And
Yeah.
where I live, I grew up.
Yeah.
So the protesting and everything is beautiful and it's wonderful right now, but it's like I just want people to know that, and I just understand that as Black people we're still gonna have to be fighting this a month from now, a year from now, 10 years from now.
Yeah.
You know?
And hopefully people understand that and go,
Yeah.
even though when it does calm down, that they're still fighting, that they're still
Yeah.
doing something to keep the movement moving forward
Yeah.
instead of getting stagnant and staying where it is like it has in the
Yeah.
past. And I'm hoping
Yeah.
this time around it clicks with more people and people just
Yeah.
keep fighting. And I know right now Bashi's out at the protest. I think he's actually he's calling in to give us an update of the protest and how it's
Is he?
going. Yeah, so we're gonna cut to him really quick and get a update from Bashi, and then we're gonna come back really, really quick and talk about some more stuff and how people can get involved in all of that
Yeah.
stuff. So Robbie, if he's there, let's see if he's there. There he is. I think that's him. Bash. There he is. Hi, Bash. Can we hear him? Look at at least he's covering his face. How are you?
Good.
How is it out there at the protest? Where are you at? How is it looking, the crowd and everything?
We're at the corner of Normal and University where the Pride flag is. It's just wrapping up around here, but everything's gone off without a hitch, and I think everybody's getting ready to just hear some speakers at this point.
Oh, nice.
But there's about 3,000 people around here.
What?
So good turnout.
Wow. How is the crowd? How is the march? How's the energy and all that out there?
I can't take credit for going the whole way. Chris and Frank went all the way up from downtown.
Yeah, I saw.
They're obviously hot and a little bit tired, but the energy's still super high up, and it's all good over here. So
Wow,
it's
that's
just
really
this
cool.
is day 3, the second one that I've been in, and I've never seen anything like this in San Diego.
Yeah, it's insane, but it's so needed and so needs to be happening right now, which is
Yeah.
great. Well, I'm glad you called in and checked in and gave us an update. It looks like there's a lot of
Yep.
people.
It was kind of a spur of the moment. Hang on, let me see if I could switch my camera and you guys can see better. Hang on.
Wow, that's a lot of people.
So anyway,
That's cool.
yeah.
Yay. Well, I'm glad you called in and gave us an update. And we'll see you next week. We're back to our normal show.
Yep.
So we'll see you next week. Bye. Be careful. Be safe out there. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Look at how young he is in that picture. There's Strawberry. So yeah, we checked in with him. There's a lot of people out there right now at the protest, and they're which is great because I always worried like it'll start dying down, but this keeps going and going, which is what needs to happen. So I know there's a lot of people who can't go out and protest, whether they're physically not able to or work, or they're concerned about coronavirus, especially older people and people at high risk. But there are many, many ways that people can get involved and donate and all that. And one of the big ways is going June 26th to Black Drag Magic on Facebook. Watch it live. You guys, the money that Corn Cakes and all of them are going to be raising is going for a great cause. So that is one definite way you can get involved and donate money. And you can always go to the Black Lives Matter movement homepage, and they have so much information, and it's a great organization. And the organization actually was founded in 2013 after George Zimmerman was accused of or acquitted of all the charges acquitted of all the charges of the killing of I'm gonna freak out his name, Trayvon Martin. Yeah. So that's when they started, and they just been going strong, and they've been a really big voice with this and really getting it out there and really helping with the protests and doing all of that. So if you want to go onto their webpage, which we have it up on the screen, you can donate to them too. That's one organization. Another one is Reclaim the Block, which was founded in 2018. And Reclaim the Block is an organization in Minneapolis community and council members to move funds from the hands of the police to other areas across the city budget to help minorities and all that. So that's another great organization you can get involved with if you're in that area. And then another one is Black Visions Collective, which I really like. If you go on their webpage, read what they're about. It's another great organization that's out there that you guys can donate your time, donate money to. And they were founded in 2017, and they focus on Black influencers in the Twin Cities and just getting the community developed out there. And the other one, which I think is really important right now, is Beam. Is another organization, and they focus on mental health and emotional health within the Black community.
Which is like a big thing, mental health, and it's almost like it's heightened with all of this, and it's crazy. First, Corona, and then now this, so it's like a lot of people who need, mental health resources is like, please reach out and get that.
Yeah. For how have you dealt with it? Like, how has your mental health been through all of this, and how do you cope with it? Like, you personally, like, what tools do you use if you were to give advice to anybody?
Well,
go back, Rob.
With me in particular, I guess you could say I'm a very I'm very strong. So for my mental health, I guess you could say I'm a bit strong. So like, okay, bitch, like, if whenever I feel some type of way, whenever I feel it, because I have to be strong for other people. You know what I mean? I feel like people do like look up to me for, for advice and for this and for that to vent, and I get that from my dad. My dad, like on our block, he was like the block therapist.
Yeah.
Although my dad was going through so much, my dad has been disabled since I was like 5 years old.
Wow.
So we've been living in poverty for like a very long time, but no matter what, he still has been that strong person for so many people, and I feel like that's kind of like what I am. So I kind of have to have like in my brain like everything's gonna be okay, you're gonna get through this. And I do have my moments where I would like get emotional, but like I said, I snap out of it, and it's like it's kind of scary for myself because I have not like cried throughout this like whole pandemic with COVID, or with like the whole Black Lives Matter movement. But not only really quick, I just want to say this: not only this is a Black Lives Matter movement and issue, it's a police brutality issue, because yes, Black lives do matter, but we're not the only ones that are being affected and being abused by the police brutality. So that's one thing I just wanted to say really quick. But yeah, so for people that are going through a little mental health, something is all I have to say, just like try to reach out to a friend, and to all the people that know people that do suffer with, anxiety and mental health issues, check up on them. I know it's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
What's happening is a lot.
Yeah.
But and I do appreciate everyone that has checked up on me. I haven't been doing so well with checking up on people, but I do like go on their social media, see what's up, like see what they're doing. I'm like, okay, cute, they're good. All right, okay, because I know how it feels to be bombarded with questions. Are you okay? How are you doing? It's like like let me just focus, So I understand how that is. And it's like a lot of people do just want to like continue living their life. Okay, am I still in frame?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. People want to continue living their life, how it was before this, and I know it's hard to, and it's like it's hard to wrap your mind around what's happening.
Yeah,
that can make people go a little,
little crazy.
Yeah, a little crazy. Yeah, not crazy in a bad way, but just like so
it's change. It's in some people don't handle change well. It's change with COVID. We had to change the way we do things, and now it's change with the way a lot of people think. Their think pattern on race and with the Black Lives Movement, it's change, and a lot of people are scared of change, and a lot of people don't do well with change. And I think that goes for everybody. And it's 2020 has been a year. I mean, so I agree with you. Check up on those friends that need it, that are out there. I mean, that's one way you can help each other out there, is just check up on each
and also
other.
really quick, for the people who can't donate to some of these organizations, one of the most important things is to sign the petitions. So if you follow me on Instagram or whatever, you'll see that. Well, right now on my Instagram in my bio, the link is for this podcast. But before that, there was a link to a bunch of petitions that can be signed, which we'll go back to being that after today. So you can follow me at strawberry_corncakes, and there's going to be a link in my bio of just places that you could just sign a petition, and it takes literally seconds to sign these petitions. And it's like there's so many other things that are happening that have been swept under the rug. And it's like people I know we're going off on a little tangent, but it still kind of all happens. Someone messaged me the other day, and they were like, please don't be mad at me. Please don't think that I don't support Black Lives Matter, because I do. But if you do want to unfollow me, I understand. but I have a question. And I'm like, okay, well, let's have a conversation. I'm like,
Yeah.
what's up? And they're like, how long do these protests need to continue to happen so that America can get it? Like, how much longer, you know? And I'm like, don't be mad because, or don't think that I'm gonna be mad because I have that same question too.
Mm-hmm.
How long are we gonna have to keep protesting? Now he may have asked that question because he's tired of, seeing all the blah, 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 which that too I do understand because people aren't used to this because like I said, for Black people we live this every day, so this is not nothing new.
Yeah.
So for people that don't live this every day to see this just it's like a slap in the face, it's a lot. And my thing to him was just like, it'll hopefully stop once these police officers stop this police brutality.
Yeah.
Because racism is never going to go away, flat out. It's never going to go away. But one thing that could be fixed by this protesting is police being accountable for their actions. So that's why the protests keep continuing. So it's like, if you don't want to go out and protest, if you don't want to go and donate, petitions.
Yeah.
Sign these petitions. Let's bring up awareness to all these things. And another thing is like calling the congressman in your city, in your state, blah 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 blah. Like call these people that actually are the ones that are making these decisions on what these police officers can do and what they're being held accountable for.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But no, I have to agree, and I think the takeaway from that is you said when this person came to ask you a question, you had said, okay, well, let's have this conversation. And I think that's a lot of what I've been seeing is people are having conversations that are usually uncomfortable for them, but with what's happening right now, it's forcing people to have these maybe difficult conversations like with their family or with their friends and stuff. And I mean, I've seen posts on what's it called on Facebook about it, and especially when people go off about all lives matter, that just pisses me off to no end. And
did you see that little meme or whatever that I posted on Instagram?
Which one? You've been posting like nonstop, which is great.
Right. Hold on, let me.
But I did want to, because I know I've kind of heard it and seen posts from especially an older generation of, let's say, within the Hispanic community, not understanding the Black Lives Matter movement and calling it. Oh yes, yeah. So, right there, perfect. My leg, yeah. That explains it. What about my leg? Well, your leg's not broken right now.
Fine.
Yeah. But Rain or Shine, another drag queen here in San Diego, she had a post on her Facebook of how she had the conversation with her mom and explaining Black Lives Matter and how all lives cannot matter until Black Lives Matter. And the way she broke it down was just so to the point, very understandable for people. So there's no excuse. How I look at it, there's no excuse for people to say all lives matter. Like, it's explained in very simple terms why it's Black Lives Matter. And I just think people just need to keep educating, keep having the conversations and all of that, and just get out there, whether you can protest or go donate or get involved with one of the organizations we talked, or even going online and supporting your show on the 26th and doing it that way. There's many ways to get involved and keep the movement going way after the protests stop, and just keep it going so that people don't lose sight of it. Because I think if the change starts with this movement, with the Black community, it's going to trickle down to the other ones that maybe are not at the point where the Black community is, but they're going to be there someday, and they're going to need everybody's help too. But hopefully this is going to start that chain reaction.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So, and I do hope that you guys, that people, whoever's watching right now, can tune in on June 26th. Follow me on Instagram, follow Amber St. James, follow Kixie, follow Adonis, Landa Plenty, follow all these queens that I'm saying, so that you could find out, when the show is going to be uploaded, where, and etc. It is going to be on Facebook Live, and I believe it might be also live on YouTube as well. Just show these Black performers some love, show them that they're appreciated, show them that they matter, because for performers, we're emotional people, extremely emotional people.
Yes, I know, trust me.
So it's like, just make us feel appreciated and wanted. And like I said, the proceeds will be going to a Black organization. And it's funny because they don't know yet, because we literally just decided last night. Who we're going to donate to. So if you guys are watching San Diego LGBT Black Coalition, you guys are going to be our beneficial, whatever that word is.
But yeah, I'm so glad we got to chat today and you came on the show. You got to come back and co-host the show when we're like getting into RuPaul and all of that drama, and we're having a cup of cocktails and doing it. That would be so much fun. Yeah.
We're gonna be on the show for hours.
I know, right? That's usually how it goes. Once we start drinking, it's just like everybody's talking and gets a loose tongue.
But I do want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to come on your show, to come on your platform, and thank you for sharing the wealth and spreading the gospel.
Yeah, everybody's got to do their part somehow, any way they can do it. So. Hi, and one more time, how do people find you, Strawberry, and how do they see the show on the 26th? Give them the rundown one more time so we make sure it's out there and you guys go and watch.
Watch this shit. So you can find me on Instagram at strawberry_corncakes. You can also follow Amber St. James and also follow Cakesy Vixen Style. I'm not sure if there's any underscores in their stuff, but I'm sure you guys will find a way to link it below and all that YouTube stuff. And we will be just promoting the show through there. And yeah, we're going to be having it on YouTube and Facebook Live.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I know we'll be tuned in and supporting. So it'll be really cool. Everybody, this episode will probably drop for all of our podcast listeners by this weekend. Then we have Nikki Paris's episode dropping next week. And then the whole gang will be back together, hopefully next Saturday, if schedules allow, to do a regular show. And then I know Strawberry's going to come back and host the show once we figure out scheduling.
I'm ready.
It'll be a lot of fun. But you can find the podcast at whoinvitedher_podcast on Instagram. We are Who Invited Her SD on Twitter and Facebook. You can email us at thegang@whoinvitedher.net. We love hearing from everybody. And all of the organizations we named today will be on our website, along with the link to Strawberry's show on the 26th, Black Drag Magic. All of that will be on our website, so you can get information there. And thank you so much, Strawberry, for joining me today. It's been fun. And today, you guys, we're just leaving you with our normal closing song. I like this song. It's upbeat, gives everybody energy, and go out, do what you need to do for the movement that is happening right now in America. And we will see you guys all next week. Bye.